All right, there are many videos I could make on different subjects. Shootings and whatever. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. You know, but I think what's important is this is more of an honest view of things, at least in my opinion, is catching the energy of the time. And I think right now, of course, people feel very anxious. They feel like a civil war and all that. And I promoted that a lot last summer because I was just LARPing. I was just stuck at home, just kind of that was the energy that was out. Now that I work and now that, you know, I realize, you know, if nothing else, with the whole Russia Ukraine thing, I'm not going to promote either side because I'm a coward. But I think if nothing else is that you realize that the, you want to label it Atlanticist, you want to label it the West, whatever you want to say, is that it's fairly robust. It's fairly robust and it's able to meet basic needs. Now, of course, it's becoming harder and harder just to meet those basic needs because basically people have been promised a fuckload of a lot, whether it's AC, running water, electricity, Wi-Fi, good roads, the infrastructure and the maintenance required to do that, the maintenance required to do that is immense. And there are just not enough people that are willing to do that for the little pay that is out there. There have been talks of a strike for the railroads recently. There have been numerous strikes that have happened. The shipyards, of course, they had their issues. We've of course seen the truckers protest, um, and now we've seen, of course, the farmers in Europe in general. This has occurred in Italy. This has occurred, of course, in the Netherlands. You know, um, it's a very desperate situation, and I think that the U.S. is a second world nation. I did a lot of F America and oh America's awful, this and that, but I think it's still the country I live in. I think that's always I've been somewhat honest, at least in my view on that. This is the only country I know. That doesn't mean I love it. It's just more of a thing of of being used to something. It's one of those the devil that you know versus the devil that you don't know. That doesn't mean you like it. It means you're used to it. I'm sure that happens in marriage too. Is that they think, oh well, maybe I'll leave him or her for somebody else, but they're just used to your bullshit. And you're just like, all right, I guess I'll stay around. And that's what happens a lot in life. I think there are, of course, plenty of people who are constantly striving that want to push for better and all this, that progressive mindset. But most people, I think, just get tired. They just get tired and they're just like, you know what, this is good enough. You know? And that's what happens. That's kind of where I'm at, really. Is it, yeah, I live at home with my parents and it's comfortable enough. Yeah, I could have bought a house probably. I don't know. Maybe I had the money. Maybe I had the money. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I'm comfortable. I think compared to other folks, my needs are fairly small. Being an apartment maintenance guy, as I will be entering into fairly soon, it's just going to be day in and day out. A lot of the similar type calls, of no cooling, AC, changing out condensers, because we will be doing that. Previous places I haven't, but they're going to have us, get some oxygen acetylene or, get a MAP gas or whichever, plumbing style rig, uh, recover that refrigerant and put in a brand new system 410A. Same thing with the evaporator. But what I was saying is that I've come to a point where it's just like I've accepted what I am at this point. It's like, yeah, I'm probably just going to be a maintenance guy for the rest of my life. I'd like to get into refrigeration, to be honest with you. I've been watching some refrigeration guys. I just find it fascinating, all the little intricacies of that. I learned a little bit about it when I went to school for HVAC, but it was something that refrigeration is a whole other world. But anyway, I digress. is I've spent a lot of time just trying to denounce that energy that I promoted this past summer. Just saying, how, the country's going to break up and it's going to balkanize and whatnot. I grifted a bit for the localism type thing. That's kind of died down. I think there's some folks who are kind of like still into the John Michael Greer stuff. I think generally speaking, I can see what they mean by him. I'm going to see what happens. I've got 2 or 3 chapters left in that book. I'm just dragging my knuckles. But I will eventually finish reading that book. I may just do it tonight. I may just be like, just screw it. 8 o'clock and just read until I just start to go to sleep. But anyway. I'm just trying to capture the energy of the time, right? I've tried to put past some of my anger and, just saying the N word and hip hop, because I realize, like I say, hip hop's a young man's game, unless you're an established guy who can, find a way to sell out, who really cares, but I don't really say the N word as much on videos, and I just try to stick to my own little world. And I think that's really the energy that I have. I can go ahead and keep on fooling myself, pretending to be, some, 20-year-old 4chan guy or something like that. But the reality is, no, I'm not. I'm just some almost 40-year-old guy who's just kind of accepted things as they are to a point. I still dream. I still try to think about what could be, but reality comes by and smacks you in the face. What the hell am I talking about? But but in all seriousness, though, is a lot of what makes up YouTube is just people that are just trying to capture the moment of the time, right? They're just trying to capture that energy and to try to encapsulate it for that time. And I'd like to think to a point that's what I try to do. People's attitudes change for whatever reason, because it's more beneficial to try to work with folks, and instead of just being a stick in the mud, just like, I'm staying at this point, I'm not going any further. People realize that, that there are a lot of different aspects to life in general that I think with that, ladies and gentlemen, kind of a repeat a lot of stuff, but I do want to finish up with this, is that I've promoted a lot of shit. Didn't get money for it. I just say grifting in the sense of just trying to feed off the energy of it. But, it's a complicated world. And I think I've always held this belief, and I've tried to promote that belief, is that ultimately the person that's listening to this, you're going to have to do what you're going to do for yourself. And that's how I feel. It's like, I don't know where you live. I don't know how you're living. But whatever it is you do, as long as you survive and you keep going, preferably multiply and have kids, good for you. I'm not going to drink haterade on that. I can go ahead and commiserate to a point and be like, oh man, why is he doing that? Or, oh man, what happened to you? But at the end of the day, you're living your life. And that's all that matters. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully got something out of that. See you later. Goodbye.